Well, welcome.
Thank you.
You know, it's been a long time since we've done a podcast, so I don't know what number we're on. I don't know what we talked about last. I don't even know who was on or what song we sang.
It sounds like you need a manager.
You're hired.
I don't have a job, so.
Yeah, you know, a whole lot has happened. So, welcome back to the podcast. We're going to do a little recap. It's been a couple months since we did a podcast, maybe more.
You and I.
Well, at all.
At all. Okay.
It got busy with Hang, and just a lot got busy. But you were doing high school special ed at Shakota, and up to your neck, maybe over your head.
And processes and procedures.
Yeah. I'd
Great.
come home and hear stories that we can't tell here, but anyways,
Things that would never happen at home, for sure.
you know, this is the sad part of it. A lot of these situations can be avoided by proper parenting at home. And so we look to the Lord for a renewal of parenting in America. It's what we're really missing. That's not really what I was going to talk about. Well, I lied. We don't know what we're going to talk about. So,
No agenda.
you were teaching, but you have since, at the end of the school year, you let that go, and you're looking for something else. Any ideas, anybody? Very qualified. And depending on how Amundson family music goes, I might be looking too. So, in the meantime, tell us about Ira and Sonora, what they did since last podcast.
Right. So they took off before the 4th of July. They missed that celebration. But they had an agenda. They were on their way to church camp in North Battleford.
That's Canada.
Their second home, Saskatchewan. They traveled together, had no problems, no snowstorms this time. And they attended the meetings there. We watched from afar from our living room. They spent time with friends, family. Ira took off west. Sonora stayed there for a while. And so Ira ended up in Idaho with friends of ours and his. Sonora stayed in Park Valley to spend some time with friends, and she's been having a great time, except her summer was interrupted by Plano Camp.
Yeah, she flew and met us in Pinelo, and Ira drove from where he was in Idaho. We all converged
Together.
on what was the place called? It was Pinelo Camp and Retreat.
Yeah, retreat center.
Yeah, and it was a wonderful
Deer
time.
Lake.
We could talk a lot about just the meetings. So that was a quick recap. And in the meantime, we were at home, getting work done here. You finally had a chance to be at home and kind of take control of the house again. So when she's gone, the boys and I are often doing a little bit of housework. And so when Christina gets home, she has to put everything back to where it's supposed to be. And we're very on the surface cleaners. And so Christina has to go behind us and actually clean.
Nitty gritty. The fine details.
You are the fine detail operation manager.
And the
of
person
the
with the toothbrush. The old toothbrush going behind them and scrubbing.
That's why I find toothbrushes everywhere.
If they have, here's a homemaking tip. If you take a bright color of nail polish and you paint the tip of the toothbrush a certain color, then everyone should know not to use that's a cleaning toothbrush.
Uh-oh. I'm just kidding.
What is that noise outside?
I do not know what that noise is outside.
Sounds like a horse stomping.
We are avoiding outside today because it is someone's looking for something underneath the building. Well, welcome to Amundson family, where you never know what's going to happen. That was Gabe outside. I don't know how he can stand to be outside. It is hot. It is 43 or 44 degrees out Celsius.
Yeah, we have to convert that to Fahrenheit.
I don't know. It's close to 100.
You'll have to do your own conversion.
So I'm not sure why. So we took a little break from the podcast because it was just really busy. And I got to tell you, sometimes I was wondering if enough people were watching or listening.
What?
Yeah,
No
I
one
know.
wants to listen to us ramble?
I doubt
Really?
it sometimes. But I was looking back on YouTube and seeing that the views are starting to rack up. And so I thought, you know what? Let's try this again. And we had planned to do it again. It just, I wasn't sure when. Sonora was gone. She's actually the impetus, is that the word?
Yeah.
Of this whole podcast thing. And we might get her on, what do you call that? Remotely.
Like two-way calling.
Yeah. Now we did that back in the spring when she was at the airport.
Right.
We did a podcast with her. So
Share
anyways,
screen.
it was a hot day today and we had the afternoon to stay inside
And rest.
and rest. And I thought, well, what a good day to get started back on the podcast. So we've been busy though online, except for that week off we took for Pinelo. We've been putting content on every day on Facebook and YouTube with the devotion and Bible reading. If you haven't seen that, every day on Facebook and YouTube, I sing a song that I learned probably when I was young, and then I just read a chapter in the Bible. I try to avoid the preaching. What do you think?
Very good. My dad watches. He likes it.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's enough commentary in the world. We don't need a lot of commentary.
You must have been listening because that's exactly what I say.
I think you were talking in your sleep, dear.
Yeah, maybe so. So, thought we'd get back at it. And I got to admit that I said, okay, Christina, let's go do a podcast. But we have no idea what we were going to talk about.
I think we could talk about how that I enjoy podcasts. I enjoy, especially when they're short, Dallas Jenkins, one of the creators of The Chosen, which is a TV show for all of you out there. I enjoy his rambling because he kind of tells you what he's been going through, what struggles he's up against, what we could pray for him for, what things he could rejoice in, kind of a testimony, praise report kind of thing. And he's real.
That's a real encouragement to me.
And
to
I
hear
hope
you
that
say
we are like that too. That's my hope.
Yeah. Well,
Prayer.
we could definitely use prayer.
Yes, last week we were getting really serious about job searching.
Yeah. Yeah, job searching, just finding direction for jobs, family, life, music. And so if you are of the praying sort, keep us in mind and in prayers. So, but to hear you say about Dallas Jenkins, just kind of saying what you were saying, it encourages me to know that, well, maybe we're not so off track if we don't have something of a topic exactly. Do you know what I really would like, though? Is I either need to sit there so I could see the clock and the timer on the recording machine. Either that or you need to find me a clock that I could put up there.
Okay, a digital clock that counts down.
A digital. I would be fine with, I know how to read. What do you call the circle clock?
Analog.
Can you, well, the one with the circle.
Yeah, analog.
Did you know that there's a lot of young people nowadays that do not know how to read a clock?
I think it's a lot of laziness.
Well, yeah.
Because we learned it easy enough. We had a teacher, and I've taught my students, I think.
Yeah.
It's just easier to look at the numbers.
But you're
and read
particular,
numbers.
and I got to thank you for that, because you've taught our kids how to read a clock.
Well, even Sonora, she loves military time, so she'll read that, and I have to do the math.
Yeah. So anyways, I could use a clock. So
1600
just in case anyone wonders why I look back like this, It's so I can see how many minutes we've been rambling.
So back to Dallas Jenkins, he has praise reports and he kind of gives updates. So I guess we have praise reports all the time.
We do.
God is good. He's taking care of us. Our air conditioning has not broken down one time this summer.
In the house or this building, which we're making really good use of this summer.
Last year, we couldn't even get this unit to work. We ordered it, and
That's a whole story in itself.
And with haying, hardly any breakdowns. And the one breakdown we had, it was right before summer camp. And what happened? You had how many guys out there figured out the problem, and it was done, right?
Yeah, you know what? Things have been going pretty good.
Yeah. And haying finished just right before we had to leave for camp.
You know, that's interesting. I want to say this is a really good prayers report. The camp that we go to in August near Spokane is something that we committed in ourselves to go to and committed to the Lord that we would make it, not knowing how the haying season would work out. But God in his faithfulness had it so that we finished the day before we left. Now, that's partly planning, but it's partly just the way the season worked. And so thank you, Lord.
Yes, thank you, Lord.
And that's just a good, it just commit your way into the Lord.
And he will direct your steps.
Yeah. So it's a wonderful thing.
Yes. And while we were gone, it was dry. It was hot. We missed out on that. But then we've been getting some rain. So possibly a second cut. What do you think?
Yeah, probably. We got 6 inches and more while we were gone. So isn't that wonderful?
We also missed out on some 102-degree weather. I heard some people on the plane. I flew back ahead of the family. And they're on the plane to Tulsa, I heard some people saying, oh, yeah, we missed out on that 102-degree weather.
It was beautiful weather
In
where we
Washington.
were in Washington. Oh, it was actually a little bit cool in the night. And you could get up in the morning. I had to put on a long sleeve shirt to go for my walk. And it was beautiful.
No mosquitoes,
No mosquitoes,
flies.
no screen on our window for the evening.
No.
It was beautiful. And so it was like almost 2,000 miles to drive there. A couple nights in hotels before we got to Pine Low. Almost a week at the camp, maybe 6 days. And then another 2,000 miles back. But on the way back, we didn't rush it too much. We actually spent an extra night. We got to visit a really cool museum.
World treasures.
World treasures. Did you see the picture of Anna standing by a piece of the Berlin Wall?
You've not shown me those pictures yet.
Well, you need to look on our Facebook subscriber group.
Oops.
For $4.99 a month, you can sign up to see background pictures and cool updates from Amundson Family Music. And you're not on Patreon either, are you?
No. Should I be?
I guess you don't have to be. So the other thing that we're thinking of doing is making T-shirts. So Gabe's been hard at work.
Gabriel,
Hard at work, kind of redoing our logo. And so you can expect in the near future to be able to buy a T-shirt. So if you're interested, actually it would really help. If you're interested, let us know if you would like a T-shirt and any other merchandise, or merch as the bands call it, that you would maybe think we should try.
stickers. That was my idea.
Stickers, coffee mugs. It's endless what you could really, but it's expensive. So we kind of want to know, we don't want to just buy a bunch of stuff because invest. So we kind of want to know. So if you do,
Inquiring minds want to know.
yeah. So that's something we're working on right. Oh, the other thing we're working on right now is a sign to put out on the road. We get quite a bit of traffic here on 4250 Road near Shakota. And we just are thinking about putting up a sign that says AmundsonFamilyMusic.com. So it's advertising the building and what we do here, as well as our website. And so we would like to have people coming Wednesday nights or something like that for Sing Song. What are you thinking about that?
Yeah. I'm thinking we're ready.
You think we're ready?
Might have to dust this place a bit.
You know, we've kind of taken it over. It's our ping pong room. And, of course, our music end of it. We have storage in the back. But, yeah, we could use a little organization, which this is misorganized, misclean over there. So I'm sure you could help us with that. And, yeah, start having people in and sing songs, maybe Bible study. Who knows?
Can you translate sing songs? Because I don't think that's a word we use in Oklahoma.
I think you might call it a jamboree. I'm not sure. Or a singing. A singing. That's what you call it.
A gospel singing.
A gospel singing. No, a gospel singing. There. Y'all invited for a gospel singing at Amundson Family Music.
On Wednesday. Wednesday evening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So keep us in prayer about that too, because we'd like to use this building that we have and, not only promote what we do, but, there are a lot of people that don't get to hear the old hymns in church anymore. Did you realize that?
Yeah.
And we love old hymns. And so if you want to hear old hymns and sing old hymns, well, come on over on Wednesday nights.
We know most of them.
Oh, yeah.
If we don't know it, we can learn it.
Yeah, that's right. Google. So, yeah, come on over. So that's another plan that we as you can tell, we have lots of plans. And
you had lots of time to think on the way home, didn't you? That was 2,000 miles.
Yep.
Daryl drives usually cup of coffee in one hand and the steering wheel in another.
I've always liked driving. When the kids were small, did you ever wonder why I liked to drive?
Well, no, because you can't nurse the children. So
I couldn't.
It was just logical.
I just didn't have to entertain the kids while I was driving.
Yeah.
Driving's the easy part.
I knew that.
Yeah. But of course, men will always make their job sound hard.
So hard.
Oh dear, don't you worry. I'll do the driving. It's my burden. Or, oh, don't worry. I'll go work outside. When really, men often pick the easy jobs. Now, I say that tongue in cheek. That's not always true, but sometimes it is.
Yes, I was always the one with puzzles and books and snacks at my feet, where you have the accelerator, the brake, and your coffee cup.
Yep.
That's all you have to worry about.
I didn't have to worry. So you were in the front seat or sometimes even the back seat. So a bottle in one hand okay, anyway, we won't get into the nursing part of it, but maybe a stick in the other hand that was long enough to reach the back.
We did have a stick, didn't we? Do you remember that plumbing tool that we heard about from somewhere?
Well, because you had to get the kids' attention sometimes. Yeah. And
they knew they were strapped in and I was strapped in the front. They knew that I couldn't reach them. So that gave me a little extra edge.
We ran a tight ship when we were traveling. I remember the odd time when we stopped. Oh, maybe I shouldn't be telling stories like this. Remember, 2 of the boys were being really ornery one winter while we were driving. And I stopped. I pulled them out of the vehicle, and I threw them in a snowbank.
I wonder if they remember that. We should ask them.
No one get me arrested for that. But I'll tell you what, they minded after that. Parenting 101. Just talk to us. We got good kids now, though.
Yeah, we do.
Well, we always did, but kids need training. We were born in sin and shapen in iniquity. Kids do not get good by accident. They get good by training them in the way they should go. And that, back to what I said at the beginning, parenting is a huge problem in America. We need to get back to biblical parenting.
Yeah.
Train up a child in the way they should go, and when they are old, they will not depart from it. And so God help us. I think that would put America back in shape if there's hope for it.
Yeah, they need to read Dr. Jesus instead of Dr. Spock.
Dr. Jesus, yeah, that's right. The great physician. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, anything else we need to talk about before we end? Now,
Are we waiting for Anna? Like, is Anna coming to read a verse or sing a song? Or
You know what? We might have to slip in a verse and a song after the fact.
okay, edit it in.
Because we have Gabe from Night Fox Animation who puts together our podcast. You know, I'll tell you, he is one talented cookie. Yes. We get a lot of comments about, well, why don't you have your other son on there? Do you feel bad about him, or are you embarrassed by him? You know what?
He's a behind the scenes kind of guy.
Yeah,
he's kind of shy.
He's behind the scenes, but he is in no means behind on talent.
No.
He is one artist that would be reckoned with both on the computer and on paper. Mm-hmm. He's very imaginative. Mm-hmm. Like you say, he's making up our logo, and he's just quite a guy.
Mm-hmm. And it's raw. He hasn't taken any art classes.
Oh, no, it's all...
I mean, one in high school, but it's just so raw with him. He's just so unique.
So I forget my point. Oh, yeah. So look him up on YouTube. Mm-hmm. Night Fox Animation on Instagram, and I think he has a Facebook account. Oh, and YouTube.
YouTube.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Look up his YouTube videos. They're really good. Mm-hmm. And he's just very good at what he does. And so he's the one that puts together our podcast.
Yeah, he edits things in.
Yeah. I just give him all the raw footage, the audio, and the video, and he just puts it together on his computer, and it's done. Mm-hmm. So he's going to be busy again because we're going to be back doing podcasts. In the past, we've been doing them 2 times a week. That's, I mean, for a part-time gig, 2 times a week is a lot.
Quite a bit. Mm-hmm. So, and he's got school now.
Yeah.
He started on Thursday.
Mm-hmm. August 10th.
They got back on Tuesday and started school on Thursday.
Like, whoever thought of starting school in the middle of August?
Well, I guess if you're virtual, you could go year-round.
Yeah, true enough. And mind you, on hot days like this, I can't blame them for wanting to start school and having the kids inside. Because what are you going to do outside, really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's almost like our winter in Saskatchewan. The summers here, especially August, it's almost like January, February.
You must have heard my devotions today. Because that's exactly what I said. I compared minus 40 with plus 40.
Oh, okay.
It's just you kind of got to deal with it and only do so much outside and then come back in. So it's very similar.
And you have to be aware of the dangers. There definitely are dangers. You can get dehydrated. You can get heat stroke. And in winter, you can get hypothermia.
Frostbite.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You have to definitely be aware of the dangers.
But the other day, I'll tell a story before we leave. Anna and I drove on the Gator to a field quite a ways away. And it was a hot day. And we had a bucket of water and some ice. And we drove, and it was quite a long drive. And on our way home, we ran out of water. And I'm thinking, this does not feel very good. Both of us were just hot and sweating. We had 2 more ice cubes in a plastic bag that we were passing to each other, and I'd put it on my chest and pass it to her, and she'd put it on her head. And I'm thinking, you know what? I don't know what I'd do if we ran out of water. We'd be stuck. If it was the winter, at least I could stop and make a fire and warm up. But in plus 40, what do you do? So all those people that are without air conditioning and without proper shelter, man, that is really tough.
Very miserable.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I am so thankful that we have this building, that we have air conditioning in, and we're comfortable.
Very, very rich.
Very blessed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us on the restart of Amundson Family Music Podcast.
Da-da-da-dum.
Yeah, and thanks for joining me, hon.
You're welcome.
All right. Take care.
Anytime.
You can count on it.
Bye, y'all.
When my soul was deep in sin, had no peace, no joy within, my Lord delivered me. Bought me from the marketplace, set my feet on the rock to stay, my Lord delivered me. My Lord in love delivered me. Within my soul made the joy bells ring, gave me wondrous victory. I'll shout and sing, because I'm glad and free. My Lord delivered me. Praise his name forever, I'll sing. Blessings to me he will ever bring. My Lord delivered me. He will guide me along the way and protect me every day. My Lord delivered me. My Lord in love delivered me. Then my soul made the joy bells ring, gave me wondrous victory. I'll shout and sing, because I'm glad and free. My Lord delivered me. He will take me to my home above, where I'll live forever in his love. My Lord delivered me. In that blessed home of the soul, I will sing while the ages roll. My Lord delivered me. My Lord in love delivered me. Within my soul made the joy bells ring, gave me wondrous victory. I'll shout and sing, because I'm glad and free. My Lord